Now at 10, Joplin High School hands out hundreds of scholarships to graduates at its senior honors night. Plus, the Missouri Southern Lions look ahead to their Final Four matchup against Northeastern State in the MIAA tournament. And details on the suspension of Sarcoxie, Missouri's chief of police.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
The Sarcoxie City Council held a meeting tonight to review an appeal about a suspension of their police chief. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. Brandy KOAM appealed the suspension she was given by Mayor Don Triplett last week. Triplett says he won't discuss why he asked KOAM to resign before he suspended her, but in the meeting he talked about behavior factors and disobedience. He says the second half of the suspension was imposed because of KOAM's posting on social media after an Amber Alert.
The posting on that has been a contentious point with us, and I know social media is something that nobody quite has their arms around right now. And it's maybe in 5 years it won't be an issue. Maybe everybody will know the right way to handle this. But until then, our policy is always going to be that we're not going to get into the mud and fight like that.
The council decided KOAM will complete her 2-week-long suspension and come back on May 19th to then discuss the possibility of her continuing. Triplett says KOAM will meet with the council to discuss an improvement plan for her. A motorcyclist is in the hospital following a crash with an ice cream van. That crash happened at 4th and Schifferdecker in Joplin just before 1 this afternoon. Authorities say the motorcycle driver was driving north on Schifferdecker when the cycle hit the side of that ice cream van. The intersection was closed for a few hours. The van driver was not injured. No word yet on the condition of that motorcycle rider. Some home and business owners today are cleaning up from last night's storm damage. The arena at the Civil War Ranch in Carthage is one of many properties in Jasper County dealing with roof damage from the storms. The owners of the Civil War Ranch are grateful the worker who was in the arena was not hurt and the storm did not damage the horse stables. Competitions that usually take place in the arena might have to be postponed or canceled, but events like weddings that take place elsewhere at the ranch will not be affected.
And we have a guy that works for us, and he was inside the arena. He was in the concession area, and that's what he said. The ground just shook and it just boom.
The Civil War Ranch is waiting on the insurance audit for a quote on the cost of repairs. Other places in southwest Missouri also have some storm damage. A tree on North Pearl in Joplin fell, blocked a road. Part of the tree did this, landed on that car. That doesn't look good. And officials say it's going to be a couple of days until that tree is cleared. And repairs are underway for Peggy's Restaurant in Jasper, Missouri. The restaurant had extensive roof damage last night. Today is the 15th anniversary of one of the deadliest tornadoes in the history of the four states. On May 10th of 2008, a twister first struck in Pitcher, Oklahoma, killing 6 people and destroying more than 160 homes. As it moved into Missouri, it merged with another tornado at Highway 43 and Iris Road, south of Joplin. It killed 16 more people there, including multiple members of 2 families and a volunteer from the Seneca Area Fire Protection District who was trying to warn people. Some of the victims were in their homes, others were killed in their vehicles on the highway. You can see a bit of our coverage from that weekend on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Let's check in with meteorologist Sam Lane for a first look at tonight's weather.
Well, the good news is we are not dealing with tornadoes in the immediate 4-state area. Instead, they've been up in the Denver and eastern Colorado area today. That could change as we head towards tomorrow, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But right now, we just have some scattered showers and storms across areas. Zooming in, you can see the heaviest showers near Cedar Vale, extending on over towards Sedan, and then up to the north and east, north and west of Independence, up towards Fredonia, and a little bit further up the line, all the way up towards Chanute, and also Bronson and Mound City. Those showers are moving towards the west, and we're going to see more showers later on tonight, so don't be surprised if you hear a rumble or two or thunder, with temperatures in the 60s all the way down to 64 in the morning. And looking down the lane, we're going to see those showers tonight scattered around, and then a threat of severe thunderstorms with possibility of tornadoes tomorrow evening, and we'll talk more about that. Also, weekend storms possible and a slight cool down. We'll have all the details in just a little bit.
All right, see you soon. Joplin High School tonight awarded scholarships to more than 100 graduating seniors. It's part of the school's Senior Honors Night. 130 scholarships were handed out by Joplin Schools, the Joplin Schools Foundation, athletic and activity booster clubs, local family endowments, and community donors. Officials say it's a great way to recognize all the hard work these students have put in as they go on to their next steps. More than 90 students were also recognized for receiving scholarships from the state of Missouri's A+ program. Some local women leaders today shared their stories of success in Carthage. The event included information on marketing and networking. Our very own Vice President and General Manager of KOAM, Brooke Arnold, right there, gave the keynote address. The event is a collaborative effort for women empowered to enhance businesses, from startups to existing businesses.
It is it's a networking, but it's also an educational piece too. We partnered with the Missouri Southern State University Small Business Development Center to bring different aspects of how do you market your business. So how do you network? How can you professionally develop your skills to be a better employee, to be a better business owner?
That event was held in Memorial Hall Auditorium. Freeman Health System is taking this week to celebrate its nurses. Several events are planned, many involving food. Started yesterday with a pancake feed, and today's event kicked off with this barbecue. Yum, yum. Officials say this week's a great chance to show appreciation for all the hard work nurses perform.
Special nurses and everybody at the hospital works really hard all year long, and so this is a time that we get to really lean in and celebrate them, work hard to serve them, and have things that they look forward to. So it's a really important week for us to circle around our profession, the reasons why it's important to us, the reasons why we became nurses, why nurses are important in our community and to the people that we serve.
On Friday, they're going to host a birthday bash celebrating Florence Nightingale, who's considered the founder of modern nursing. Coming up, Kansas Governor Kelly signs a bill aimed at preventing suicides. Plus, writer E. Jean Carroll and former President Trump speak out after a jury finds the president liable in the civil case. Missouri lawmakers today approved significant restrictions on transgender people. Lawmakers approved bills to ban gender-affirming health care for minors and prevent transgender girls and women from playing on female sports teams. Both measures would expire in 2027. They now head to Governor Mike Parson's desk, and he is expected to sign both bills. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly signed a bill creating 2 sales tax exemptions to increase resources for suicide prevention and services. It's aimed toward elderly and disabled Kansans. The sales tax exemption would help the Kansas Suicide Prevention HQ increase its ability to provide suicide prevention training and raise awareness of mental health resources all across the state. The tax exemption for area agencies on aging will expand their ability to serve Kansas seniors and individuals with disabilities through increased accessibility, services, and community. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt has signed a bill that could help prevent fentanyl overdoses. That new law is going to allow Oklahomans to carry fentanyl test strips without them being considered drug paraphernalia. Now, according to the Oklahoma Department of Health, from 2019 to 2020, the number of fentanyl overdoses increased by 170% in Oklahoma. The bill is going to go into effect in November. Some Frontenac, Kansas police officers visited Frontenac High School to raise awareness of fentanyl danger. Fentanyl is a highly addictive synthetic opioid that continues to drive the overdose epidemic. National Fentanyl Awareness Day was actually yesterday, but police officers visited schools yesterday and then again today. Writer E. Jean Carroll is speaking out following her civil trial victory against former President Donald Trump. A jury found Trump liable for battery and defamation in a first-of-its-kind judgment against the ex-president. Carroll claims Trump attacked her in the bathroom of a New York City department store back in the 1990s. Trump, who appeared at a CNN town hall tonight, continues to deny Carroll's claims. Reporter Skylar Henry has details.
Donald Trump did it. And all his saying, no, 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 is not true.
Speaking on CBS Mornings, E. Jean Carroll called her legal victory against former President Donald Trump a wonderful feeling.
every blood vessel in my body jumped up with a complete and utter joy.
Tuesday, a Manhattan federal jury found Trump liable for sexually abusing and defaming the former writer, awarding her $5 million in combined damages.
We are the ones who are the first ones who are holding Donald Trump accountable.
The jury did not find the ex-president liable for rape.
Part of me was obviously very happy that Donald Trump was not branded a rapist.
Trump's lawyers plan to appeal the decision, and Trump once again denied Carroll's claims during a CNN town hall meeting Wednesday night in New Hampshire.
And I swear on my children, which I'd never do, I have no idea who this woman. This is a fake story, made up story.
The verdict comes as Trump faces other legal challenges and makes another run for the presidency. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Carroll told CBS News the verdict dispels the notion of a perfect victim, one who always screams, always goes to the police, and writes about the attack in her diary. As the pandemic-era immigration policy Title 42 is set to expire at midnight tonight, long lines of migrants are forming at the southern border trying to enter the country. President Biden is rolling out sweeping new border rules replacing Title 42, which require migrants without authorization to prove they asked for protection. If they can't, they could be banned from the U.S. for 5 years and face a felony charge. Embattled Congressman George Santos today pleaded not guilty to a 13-count federal indictment, including charges of fraud and money laundering. The freshman Republican from New York has been at the center of several investigations after revelations he fabricated his life story and credentials leading up to his election. Federal prosecutors say he embezzled contributions that were supposed to go to his congressional campaign and used them for his own personal benefit. If convicted of the charges, Santos could face up to 20 years in prison. A little bit later, Crowder College baseball aims for their 4th straight Region 16 championship. We're going to hear from the team.
And we're going to have a look at the radar and also let you know what we think about the severe weather threat tomorrow. We'll have all that when we come back. Well, we had quite a few storms last night producing some damage, but today we just had some scattered storms producing some beneficial rainfall. Hopefully that's going to be the trend, but we do have a threat of severe weather tomorrow. First, let's look outside at Seneca, Missouri in Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. As we start through the time lapse, you can see mostly cloudy skies this morning. Then as the afternoon wore on, we started to see some sunshine, and then we saw some cumulus clouds developing across the area, and most of these were moving from southeast to northwest, which is kind of an unusual direction. We're kind of under the influence of an upper level low moving up from the south. This afternoon we made it up to 83 after starting out at 60, which was above the normals of 75 and 54. And for the month, we're still behind on rainfall, and for the year, of course, we're about 4.8 inches behind. Hopefully we're going to catch up on that in the coming days. Looking at radar right now, you can see the activity over the last 4 hours basically moving from southeast to northwest, and we're going to continue to see that trend with more showers and storms developing tonight down in Arkansas and then rotating up into our area in the overnight hours. So don't be surprised to see a rumble or two or hear a rumble or two of thunder. Now, our attention is really going to be focused on tomorrow, as we're going to have a powerful storm system moving across New Mexico right now, and as it ejects out into the plains, it's going to have a negative tilt to it, lots of moisture, lots of heat, and a dry line setting up across western Oklahoma, and that means severe weather, a good chance of severe weather for a large part of our area. But temperatures tonight are not that bad, generally in the 60s to the south and east, 70s up towards the north and west, like in Yates Center, where they're currently 72 degrees. And in Joplin, we're down to in the 60s, 69, with an east-southwest wind at 15, gusting at 23, humidity of about 75%. Now, here's the risk map for tomorrow, and that stretches from northwest Kansas all the way down through Wichita and along I-35 into the Oklahoma City metro area. In fact, it's looking like in some of the latest data, the Oklahoma City area is going to be target zone for maybe some large and destructive tornadoes tomorrow evening. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But of course, it also could impact our western counties in our area with some severe weather too. So folks in this yellow shaded area, you really need to be paying attention tomorrow afternoon and evening, especially tomorrow evening, for the threat of severe weather, because all the threats are there. Then on Friday, the entire mess moves up towards the north, up into Iowa, creating some severe weather there. Tonight, No severe weather, just some beneficial rainfall, and then as we go through the morning hours, it drops off and then picks back up again late tomorrow night into Friday morning as those storms move in from Oklahoma. Rainfall amounts are expected to be around half an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch here and there. An isolated inch or two could be possible, especially in some of the stronger storms across the area. So temperatures tonight are going to drop into the 60s with rain moving in from southeast to northwest. Then it all pivots up towards the north and east with highs tomorrow in the 70s. Then we're going to be watching those storms in Oklahoma develop and move across our area. And by 10:30, they could be impacting our western counties and then rolling across our area overnight into Friday morning. And by Friday morning, they will start to move off towards the east and south with temperatures in the 70s. And then on Friday afternoon, partly cloudy skies with highs in the low to mid 80s, especially out towards the west behind that dry line. And then the whole thing moves off towards the east by Saturday morning with lows in the 60s under light and variable winds. Over the next 7 days, a big attention, possible alert tomorrow, with temperatures in the 70s with storms tomorrow evening into the overnight hours. Some of those could be severe. And then we're looking at more storms on Saturday and Sunday and Monday, and then drying out the middle to latter part of next week, Dow.
Don't want the dry out just yet, but
right. We need more rain, that's for sure.
You bet. Thanks. With the warmer weather coming, you and your kids might be looking for a way to cool off. Pittsburgh's Aquatic Center at Schlanger Park today opened their splash pad. In addition to the splash pad, you can get swim passes at the center for $40 each. Still ahead, a Girard High School standout decides to continue her track and field career at Pitt State. Missouri Southern Baseball prepares to face Northeastern State in the MIAA tournament semifinals. Jacob Leonard has that and more up next.
The Missouri Southern Lions are still alive in the MIAA Conference Tournament. The Lions won their opening series over Newman last weekend to move on to the Final Four in the tournament bracket. And next up for Southern, they'll face Northeastern State in the semifinals tomorrow afternoon in Warrensburg. Now, these two teams played just a few weeks ago with the Lions taking 2 out of 3 from the Riverhawks in Joplin. All season, Missouri Southern has had one of the best offenses in the nation. They know as they begin the playoffs, pitching will be huge. They want to make it a deep postseason run.
I trust every single person on our staff to go out and compete to the best of their ability, and it's really nice knowing that you have a group of guys in the pen and starting wise that are going to go out and give their heart out on the mound for you.
Hopefully we'll be able to play 4 games or up there. It'll be more than a 3-game series like we're used to. We're going to need a depth guy to step up and pitch well, and we got some guys that have hopefully prepared for that, even though they haven't pitched a lot during the regular season. But each team's in that same spot, so we need a couple of pitchers to step up for sure.
Our offense is pretty explosive. Our pitchers have been dominant lately, and when we're going good with our offense exploding and our pitchers shutting hitters down, it's pretty exciting and it's fun to be a part of.
The Crowder College Rough Riders are back in the Region 16 baseball tournament. The Rough Riders are the #1 seed in the 4-team tournament being played this weekend at Joe Becker Stadium. The Crowder is aiming for their 4th consecutive Region 16 championship. The Rough Riders went 45-11 in the regular season. They enter the tournament ranked 5th in the nation. Now here's the team on getting to play the tournament close to home in their first round matchup against Mineral Area.
Have good 2-strike at bats. We got to play defense, all the little things. You got to take care of those controllables, but we got to put up big innings. They're good offensively and they got power arms. You're not going to single those guys to death. You better get them in chunks or they're going to be tough to beat.
It's great. We have a great fan base, a great community who supports us. Our college is very accommodating. They help us out a lot, and our community is very good to us. They come out to a lot of our games back home, and so this is almost like another home game for us and a home tournament, and we're just going to go take care of business and maybe put on a little show for the fans.
Girard High School senior Gracie Peterson signs today to continue her track and field career in college, and Peterson is headed down the road to Pittsburgh State to compete for the Gorillas next year. And Peterson, multiple-time league and regional champion. She's a state medalist in the long jump, holds school records in the 100-meter dash and the 4x100 relay. But heading to PSU, Peterson's main focus, at least for now, will be competing in long jump.
I've trained in the Plaster Center, and I've trained and I've been around them, and just the way that they treat their athletes, the way that their athletes are, that kind of, I saw how it worked instead of them trying to explain to me how it was. I just watched it, and it was an environment I really wanted to be in. I think for the longest time I was just trying to get there, and then now it started to set in that it's going to be challenging, it's going to be tough, it's not going to be what I'm used to, but I'm excited, I'm ready for it.
Finally, local softball here. Jasper and Liberal meet tonight in the Class 1 District 6 Championship. It is Jasper taking it tonight 7-3. Eagles are now back-to-back district champions. Well, that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
A little bunny, this one in California, went from being a stray in the streets to working with the police. The bunny, named Percy, was found last year in the middle of the road by a patrol officer who responded to a call for the stray rabbit. The officer later took him to animal control, expecting for his owner to claim him, but when no one did, the bunny was quickly adopted by the Yuba City Police Department service analyst. Percy is now the wellness animal for the department. Officers say he's really social and that having Percy has helped them to deal with stress daily. So first they rescue Percy, and then in essence he returns the favor, I guess.
Absolutely.
Some chances of more rain ahead.
We do. Tonight we have some showers and storms possible, but a bigger threat of severe weather tomorrow, mainly western counties tomorrow evening, and then more storms on the weekend, and then drier next week.
Final sports note.
Hoping that rain holds off tomorrow, especially in Joplin. We have a big-time softball game. Missouri Southern hosting a regional for the first time since 1993. They'll face Minnesota Duluth at home at 2 o'clock. Of course, we'll have the latest from that game. Great news. We'll have the highlights from that game right here tomorrow night.
Thanks for joining us. Morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.